Hi fish fans, it's Raina. Long time no talk. Sean and I have been so busy that we haven't had time to film some of these narratives to go with the video footage we've been doing. So we've just been putting out like videos that are just compilations of clips and maybe some written narrative and stuff. So today I'm trying to knock a few of these out of the park. So you're going to see that I'm wearing the same outfit for a few, and it's because my time is minimal. I'm trying to get it all done for you. So today on the show on So You Want to Be a Mermaid, I'm going to be talking about my beautiful Merbella's slash tail that I have sadly decided to sell. And before we get into that, I really want to ask that you could please like and subscribe. I know you hear this every single video, but it makes a world of difference in how our videos get shared around the YouTube world. So you can just click the like, click the subscribe button. If you want to get notifications about things like my live streams or when my videos are coming up or see some of the pictures I share on YouTube, you can click the little bell if you want to get email notifications, but if you don't want email notifications, don't click that. And then one other thing I wanted to say before we get started is just thank you so much for your support because of all your online support when it comes to using our mertailer code, using our slip-ins code, watching our videos, subscribing on Patreon. You've allowed our business, Halifax Mermaids, to continue through COVID, even though we can't take any bookings. All the earnings and revenue that we earn through this stuff, we put it right back into Halifax Mermaids, and it's allowed us to hire more merfolk. It's allowed us to train them. It's allowed us to keep our insurance going without it lapsing, which is really important to keeping those rates low. So I just want to ask that you please continue to do that. You're so awesome. I have the best fans. I may not have millions and millions of fans, but the ones that I do are just so awesome and devout and supportive, and we really, really appreciate you. So thank you. So yes, okay. This is my Merbella's tail. It is the second Merbella's tail that I owned, and it was made in 2014, and then I got it in 2015 in January at Merfest in North Carolina. And there's these really beautiful pictures and clips online that I'm gonna get Sean to add into the video of when I opened the tail and I was surrounded by all these amazing merfolk. I think it was my second mer convention ever, and I was surrounded by all these amazing merfolk while I got to open the tail. And at the time, this tail was like the biggest, hottest thing you could get on the market. I was the first person to get a lot of these really cool features that Merbella's decided to add, and I got to kind of show them to the mer community for the first time. And then once people saw it, orders started coming in for other people, and she started kind of elaborating on what she was doing, so it was really cool. I didn't design the tail. Raven designed it for me based on me basically just saying I want my own version of a splash tail and just put your spin on it. Previous to this, I had the other tail that I've done a video on that we will link at the end of this video, and it was beautiful, but it was also Raven's kind of first forte into silicone tail making. And you know, it was fantastic for what it was, but then we evolved, we get better, we know how to do things more efficiently, and that's what happened with this tail. And I feel like this tail just really started this amazing trend for Merbella's, and that every tail that she put out after that just got better and better and better. So some of the unique features I wanted to show you about this tail, I asked for these little side fins near the ankles because I find that they hide ankle bumps really well, and they're really beautiful. And I think when she put these on, she figured out a technique for attaching them so that they wouldn't rip off, and I've never had them rip off in the 5 years I've owned them. My lovely heel fins, again, those cover the heel bumps really nicely, and we decided to go with a stubby dorsal. As much as I love dorsal fins that are flowy, I do a lot of kids parties, I do a lot of sitting on my fish butt, and having a stubby dorsal that could fold to the side, if you can see that this folds to the side when I sit, that way it wouldn't break actually, and wouldn't get caught on things. It also has her patented I mean, it's not actually patented, but it's like she's known for it, her blended waistline. And mine that you're seeing right now is 5 years old, so it is a bit worn out, and it was replaced in 2017 as well. But because it's clear silicone tends to yellow as it ages, but it's a really stretchy silicone. It's transparent so that your skin kind of shows through. It's got a power mesh backing, and it's really just very flattering when you wear it, and it's just blended very nice. It's got the classic Merbella's scales. There are a few dragon skin scales at the back, And I actually got her, she tested out, now I'm not sure if she does this with her current tails or not, but at the time we decided to get her to test out actual drainage. So not just like little holes that are just not sealed in the fluke, but an actual designated piping and holes so that the water comes out of a little pipe and a little spout basically, and it kind of looks like I'm peeing when I wear the tail. And I really think it's funny because when people do fan art of me in this tail, they all actually draw the little hole, which is really funny. And kids do point it out sometimes, and I just tell them I'm peeing, and then they leave it alone. It's so great. But the cool thing about it is I could sit on the end of the pool and have the fluke just kind of draping into the water, and all the water would flow out of it very quickly, very, very quickly. And in the past, when tail makers didn't do some kind of drainage, what would happen is the constant pressure from water being inside the fluke would actually start to pull the glue away, and the fluke would start to separate, and then whatever monofin was in it would shift around. So the monofin that's in this is a thinnest foil, which is not the best monofin on the market, but I wanted something that was lightweight and that I could fold to put in luggage. So I have folded this many times to put it in luggage. And 2017, she touched it up again for me. She repainted it. It used to have some iridescent blue, but then we went totally brown, and there's a matching top and everything for it. So if I love it so much, why am I getting rid of it? So there's a few reasons why I'm reluctantly giving it up. But first, I would like to say that I'm very picky about who I sell my items to. I have a lot of love for my items and my costume. If I had the space and the money, I would love to just have a room that was kind of like a mermaid museum where I had everything on display. And I always kind of hoped that I would be able to keep this tail and maybe put it into some kind of table, you know, with like the glass top. But in a COVID world, that's just not feasible. So the number one thing is that I haven't used this tail in a year and a half. And it's a very expensive item to just be sitting there not being used. And the thing is the resale value is really good on these. This has been redone in 2017, so it's actually not got nearly as much wear and tear as you would think a 5-year-old tail would have. And I've invested a lot of money into maintaining it. So yeah, it's hard to just have something sit there that I'm not going to use. So why am I not using it? Well, when I got this tail, I weighed 125 pounds and had very little body fat. My weight has gone up as high as 155 pounds because of my endometriosis and because of hormone treatments and what they do to your body and how they make things fluctuate. And even though I eat healthy and work out and do all those things, I have managed to lose some weight doing the keto diet, and I've gotten down to 142, but I can honestly tell you, I really don't believe I'm gonna get back down to 125. I think this is where my body wants to stay. Like, I really don't think it's gonna get down to 125, and I don't want to kill myself on some kind of crazy diet and working out 24/7 to get down to that just so I can fit in this tail. And for contrast, in 2017, when I had a personal trainer and I was personal training 2 to 3 times a week, plus going to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, plus calorie counting everything, macro counting everything, the lowest I ever got was 130, and I could not maintain it. No matter, like, my whole life had to revolve around it in order to do that, and it wasn't healthy, and it started to become disordered. Not that I want to lump myself in and say that I had an eating disorder, because I think those are very serious, and I don't want to undermine people who have them at all, but my thinking was starting to become disordered, so it wasn't healthy for me. So I'm trying to make peace with the fact that I'm never going to be this skinny 125-pound person again. I'm 5'8", I'm, like I said, about to be 35, and my treatment for my endometriosis has to come first. So the tail definitely stretches, and I've been able to wear it at these weights. However, it's extremely uncomfortable. The other thing is, a year ago this month, I stopped taking endometriosis meds in the hope that I could get pregnant and in preparation to having endometriosis surgery. And because I'm not taking any meds, the endometriosis is spreading through my pelvis, and it's incredibly painful. So all of my silicone tails from Merbellas are quite tight on my waist. They're tight on your hips. They're form-fitting, which is fine. That's how most people like to have their mermaid tails. But for me, that triggers really incredibly painful pelvic floor spasms. So imagine a Charlie horse right below your belly button, and then it just never goes away for like weeks on end, and you can't sleep, you can't sit, you can't do anything. So these are all reasons why I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel very good in my tail. I kind of feel like a sausage. And then it hurts my body. And then sort of like it's expensive and I'm not using it. And then the final piece to that is that I did have a falling out with Merbellas that was very hurtful to me, just hurtful in general. I'm not necessarily saying that they were trying to hurt me, but fallouts with friends are sad, right? So as much as I love this tail and I have these beautiful memories with me, I kind of feel like I have this hanging on that's been left over from this fallout, and that maybe passing the tail on to a friend is going to give me some closure. So these are all reasons. And if you kind of think of like the Marie Kondo, it's like, does it bring you joy? And every time I look at my tail, I kind of feel a bit resentful for a lot of reasons. I feel resentful that my body doesn't fit in it anymore. I feel resentful that I'm aging and not as strong as I used to be. And I feel resentful that it costs so much money and I'm not using it, which makes me feel guilty. And then I just feel resentful over the ended friendship. So I think passing it on is the best choice. And like I said, it's really important to me to pass on my gear to somebody who's gonna love it and appreciate it, because this has a lot of history. So I have sold it to my friend, the Mermaid Atlantis. She's amazing. I met her at these events. At the very first one that I went to, she and I are very similar, and we relate a lot to each other's journeys. We have similar body types. She's a bit more fit than I am. She's got gorgeous tattoos. She is a stellar entertainer of both adults and children, and she also does kind of the red and black or the orange and black style for her look. And I just can't think of another mermaid that this could go to where it would just mesh so well with her look already. So I feel like this is going to go to somebody who really is going to love it, who's going to take care of it. It's not going to get moldy. It's not going to get full of rips and holes. I'm not going to see it online again and see it destroyed. And another part of trying to sell something like this is you have to imagine, am I going to be okay seeing somebody else wearing an item that I've shaped my life around? And for most people, the answer is no, but when it comes to the Mermaid Atlantis, the answer is yes. So that is how I've made peace with this, and I feel like I've made a really good choice to sell it to her. The money is gonna go a really long way in keeping Halifax Mermaids going during COVID and all these restrictions, because we still can't do gigs here. We're still in a lockdown situation. We still have a state of emergency here, and I don't know when that's gonna change, but I do know that I don't just want my business to die. We've been doing everything online, and for the most part, we've actually made more money that way than we do with gigs, which has been phenomenal. However, we are going into the off season, which tends to be from about October to February, and those months there, everything kind of tanks. They're the dark months, nobody has money, and it's hard to come up with new content because we can't get into pools again. We're only just doing like wintry photo shoots, bathtub photo shoots, that kind of thing, so it's not as motivating for people. And I know that we're gonna hit a dry spell, so I'm trying to make those decisions now that's gonna give our company some longevity. And I'm really proud of how we've survived COVID so far. And I recognize that that would not have happened had we not lived in Nova Scotia. I really am not okay with doing gigs during a pandemic at all, and it's different in different parts of the world, but here it's not even a choice. I don't have to make a choice. It's not legal. I'm not allowed to do it right now. So it is what it is. So yeah, I've been wearing the fabric tails all the time. I still have some silicone tails. I have my Mertailor silicone tail, which is a bit bigger, and it was made that way on purpose so that I wouldn't have pain. I also have this She Creature, which Mermaid Victoria has right now. She's creating a new waistline for it, and that also fits me very well. It had always been a bit bigger on me, and now Victoria is adding the waistline so it comes up a bit higher and it doesn't pinch my hips and my pelvic floor the same way. And we have the mini splash, which I don't fit in, but I hang on to that because I put other people in it when I'm training or for my team when we need to have silicone tails. But mainly, I've really shifted my business to just using fabric tails professionally, because the fabric tails from Mertailor, the fabric tails from Finfolk, they're gorgeous, they're stunning, they look realistic, they do everything silicones do at a fraction of the cost. I don't insure them because if I lose one, it kind of sucks, but it's just too expensive. It's not worth the effort to insure it. Selling these tails off also means that I don't need to put that money into insurance for if they ever get lost or damaged. So yeah, it's a sad but happy thing. I'm passing it on to an amazing friend who I know is gonna love it and gonna do great things with it. It's gonna continue this life cycle, and maybe someday it's gonna end up in this new mermaid museum that's being built. Who knows? Like, it would just be really wonderful to see that. So I'm thankful for all the happy memories. This tail and I have been through a lot. We swam with manatees. This tail and I were the first mermaid in an aquarium in Canada, which was really cool. And it's done so many parties and tank shows and tourism events. It's met Dr. Sylvia Earle. It's really done a lot, hasn't it? So I think it's had a good life with me. And now it's time for it to go have a good life, and I'm excited for that. So the Mermaid Atlantis, if you're watching this, I have nothing but love for you. I can't wait to see what you do with this and what you continue to do on your mermaid journey. You inspire me all the time. I learn so much from you, and you're just great, and I'm excited it's gonna be going to you. So I guess this tail's gonna wave goodbye now. We'll give it a little wave here. I have to give it a bath before I send it because of cat hair. It's covered in cat hair. I'm gonna bath it, dry it, and get it right into a box. Hopefully it's not gonna be too crazy to ship to her. They're always lots of fun shipping mermaid tails, but say goodbye to the splash tail. Thank you so much for checking out my video. We've got lots more coming, so stay tuned. We're trying to stick to our update schedule of updating Mondays and Fridays, and also doing live streams every second Monday. Fast fish!